Hey digital fam, my name is John D. Saunders. In today's digital blog, I talk about several ways to promote your blog on outside avenues to get high engagement and shares on your content. Let's do this. I hope all is well, guys. I'm gonna make this a quick video blog, so stay tuned. Basically, I'm gonna show you several different ways and places online that you can share your blog to the right specific niche. So that includes Facebook groups, Google communities, answering Quora questions, and a few more we threw in for good measure. So stay tuned. Let's go ahead and dive into my computer and get this thing done. Okay guys, so the first thing I do is go to my strategy links Google Sheet. So I have everything recorded there on what I'm going to be sharing and where. So for example, these are the other sites besides your blog post that I'll add the content to, right? So I choose specific subreddits on Reddit, Facebook post, Facebook groups, Pinterest, Google+, Quora, and an email blast to the individuals on my list, right? So with that being said, these are all free ways to promote your blog online to specific niche areas. So you don't want to just blanket the internet. You want to find specific niche areas that can really excel and share your content. So let's start with Reddit, right? So if I click Reddit ads, these are the links that I post content to. Now these are specific niche subreddits. And if you don't know what Reddit is a website known as the front page of the internet. So it aggregates the top articles and people can either upvote or downvote that content. Getting to the top of a subreddit or Reddit's front page can be difficult, but you can get a lot of consistent traffic from posting in the right subreddits. Now, be wary, Reddit is a beast. People will call you out on your BS. People will say your content's not up to par. So make sure that the content you're posting on subreddit is top level, great content that's both snackable and shareable for the Reddit community. So I'm gonna go back to my link. These are the different subreddits that I chose, right? So travel, solo travel, backpacking. Solo travel actually performs really well for the blogs that we post. Our most recent one was 5 ways to travel on a limited budget. We posted that in solo travel and we got more than 600 hits to the website that resulted in some sales. So Reddit does work as a mechanism for driving traffic to your site based on the specific niche. So let's say you like to do e-commerce, right? So you have an e-commerce article that you want to share. So let's go to e-commerce and type that in. So e-commerce and selling online, UK e-commerce. So what you can do is create a spreadsheet and start recording the subreddits you think would perform well. The link is at the end of the article for you to download this spreadsheet, right? So you want to plug in the link, the number of subscribers it has, what you think the relevance is to your content. The subreddit score will automatically be populated with my algorithm, and then the keyword for travel, and then notes, right? So once you do that, you also want to look at that specific subreddit. For example, if I wanted to post a blog about e-commerce and what I'm doing right, I would go to that subreddit and then I would read this content here, because you want to make sure that you can, 1, post that blog content, and 2, that you're not violating the rules of that subreddit. So do not post promotional content here, as it will be reported as spam and removed. Okay, so that'll tell you that it's not a good idea to promote your product. You might want to just ask questions here. So do some searches in Reddit to find specific niche subreddits and promote your content there. Now, when you submit a link, make sure that you use realistic jargon and realistic language, right? So this is another article that we did. I compiled a list of things we did for little to no cash in California, right? It's straightforward. It's to the point, and it's not salesy, right? So you want to provide value. You don't want to be selling these individuals on Reddit, because they will rip you to shreds. But yeah, so this is the quote that I did. This got 38 upvotes, a ton of traffic to the website. It's still getting traffic to this day in that subreddit, and people actually commented and responded to it. So next up, let's talk about Facebook groups. Facebook groups, as you all know, are super powerful, laser-focused communities of people that have similar interests. So with that being said, to find some groups that you can post content to, and remember, when you're posting your blog content, you're not looking for a sale. You're looking more so for people to read your content, engage. You don't want to sell. You want to provide value, right? So once you type in travel in your Facebook search, it'll bring up different tabs up at the top. Just go ahead and hit groups based on the keyword that you like. or that pertains to your content, and it'll show all the groups that I'm either a part of or that I can join. So I'm going to go back to my spreadsheet. I'm going to click Facebook groups. This is the breakdown of my groups. I usually put the group name, the URL, notes, and then the last date I posted, because I don't want to be spamming these groups, number one, and I always want to be providing value, right? So first thing, let's check out free nomads. I'm going to post that here. Facebook groups are similar to Reddit subreddits. You want to make sure that you always look at the description to look at the group guidelines to see if they say anything about posting blogs or any of your personal content. Usually, if your content is informative, they allow you to post blogs on there. And this is a good way to, one, drive traffic to your website where you can retarget these individuals later with Facebook retargeting. We can say that for another one. Or you can check out the video in the upper right-hand side for more info on that. And what you want to do is you want to post your content here, have it quick, digestible, and a nice clean image, and people will click to your website and will most likely either like, comment, or engage on your site in a sale. So this is a quick and easy way to really build some clientele via Facebook and get your brand out there to the communities you pertain to. So with Pinterest, what we do is create images like these. See how this image is a little bit longer than the others? It kind of stands out a bit more, but we'll create images like this with a cool image in the background and a text overlay that goes to our blog. So if I go to our profile, for example, and I go to budget travel, this image stands out a little bit more, especially if you were to search for travel. And when you click it, it takes you to the specific blog. So that's a quick way to get some hits from Pinterest. You'll see some consistent clicks to your website from that by just posting it. You can also boost your pins for a pretty inexpensive price. We usually pay about $1.20 per click, which in context is pretty cheap in regards to the keyword that we're targeting. But that's another quick way. I also included a link to download that PSD as well if you wanted to use that. Next up is Google+. Now, before you tell me Google+ is a ghost town, no one ever goes there, Google+ still has an active community base, right? So if I go to Google+, and you do have to have a Google account for this, a Google profile, I'm sorry, and I go to Google+, and then I go to communities, these are all of the communities I'm a part of. As you can see, this one has 250,000 people, 46,000, 81,000. So these communities are very much still active, right? So if I click a community, so what I'll do once I get in that community, I'll hit this pencil icon. Let me just copy this link right here, and I'll plug it in here, and I'll just share this blog on any communities where I can share travel tips, photos, and discussions. So I want to make sure that, one, they're in line with who I'm trying to target, and two, that I'm allowed to post this type of content on there, because you can't get banned from a community. But once I have that up, I'll say, and then I'll hit post. Now I've already posted this in here, so I'm not going to hit it. But if you do this for 5 to 10 communities that are in line with your brand, I guarantee you'll get traffic from Google. So Quora is a platform where people can ask questions and individuals from the community can respond to those questions, usually in line to what the question's asking, right? So if it's someone asking a question about travel, it'll be a travel agent or someone in that realm, right? So I have our content writer, Deandra, also my wife, whose profile is here. She's answered 15 questions. So she's had about 10,000 answer views. So this has driven a considerable amount of consistent traffic to the website, right? We're also a most viewed writer in travel hacks. So anytime we post content that has to do with travel blogs, people instantly look at it, click to the site, and respond to our content, right? So people might ask, what are the best ways to travel when you're young? What we do is we'd like to take snippets from our blog to answer questions, right? So if we know we're writing a blog about traveling tips, we might do a search for travel tips, right? When we do that, it'll bring up any questions or topics that pertain to that subject. So what are your top 10 travel trips? Boom. So now I can go in here and I can answer or respond to this question. So in essence, you're writing your content and then you're finding relatable keywords on Quora where you can post answers with content you already have. So I'll take snippets from different blogs and content that we have to drive people to look at our responses and ultimately drive them to the website, because we know they're into travel. We know they might be into our travel products, right? So if I go back to the profile, you can see a few of the questions that we've answered. Some of these have gotten 150 views, 200 views, and even upwards of 7,000, right? So this is a great way to drive that consistent traffic. So just to show you all an example, in the last few weeks on Reddit, we've had 638 views on the site. Quora has brought us 63 different IP addresses or users to the site. Pinterest has bought 57. Google Plus has bought 33. So in retrospect, it doesn't seem like a lot, but remember, this is only a couple weeks of data, number one. And number two, we're building up our platforms on each of these to really create a following of targeting individuals. So this is just to give you guys an example of ways to promote your blog without having to spend any upfront cash to get some nice hits and shares on your content. Thank you guys again for watching our content. We appreciate every single view we get. Just hit that subscribe button in the bottom right there. Also, there's a screen right after this to subscribe as well. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me in the comments. Peace.